Hello, everybody. I just want to say thank you for coming on the show today. We have with us Adrienne Watson from W Tax Business Consultant. She's here with us to share with us about her business and what she does and give us a few tidbits about the upcoming tax season that is upon us at this time. So we would like to welcome Adrienne tonight. So I'm glad to have you on, Adrienne. How are you today?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So can you start off by just sharing a little bit about yourself?
Well, like Erica said, my name is Adrienne Watson. I am the owner and chief consultant of W Tax and Business Consulting. We service individuals and small businesses by providing accounting services, income tax, prep, and consulting services, as well as business coaching and consulting. I've been in the business, I've been in the accounting field, oh Lord, I'm about to really tell my age, for over probably about 18 years. And the business consulting field, I have been in it for over 10 years. I have my BS in accounting from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. I should be shot for saying North Carolina State. And I have my MBA from Pfeiffer University. Oh, my Aggies might get mad at that.
Go
and
Aggies.
I'm a diehard Aggie fan.
Oh, we're going to bring that back.
I'm a diehard Aggie fan. But that's what I run. Right now, that's what I do. I provide, like I said, income tax and prep consulting services, accounting services, and business coaching consulting services. So that's kind of a quick rundown about what I do. I'm very passionate about helping small business owners. Matter of fact, one of my slogans is, I am in the business for your business. So if you need help with anything, you can contact me later on after the podcast. The information will be up. Just contact me, any kind of services you would like to, have, or me look at something accounting-wise. So that's about it, Erica. That's something quick, because I kind of talk fast.
Oh, no, that's okay, because we're going to get right into the meat and potatoes of this, because I have a few questions, and I'm sure our listeners would be interested in hearing as well. One key point is, and I believe for this year in particular, I see a lot of people, especially African Americans, looking forward to starting new businesses. What would be the first thing that you would want to share with them? Just a few tidbits, not too much, but just a couple of key points that you would want to at least share with them in that arena of dealing with small businesses and starting new businesses.
The very first thing I encourage people to do when I talk to people, they tell me, I want to start a business. The first thing I say is, do you have a business plan? They look at me like I'm crazy. It does not have to be that lengthy business plan you see on the internet. That's SWOT analysis. That's over 10 to 20 pages. It does not have to be that long. It can be a one-page business plan. Sometimes the business plan is not for the investor. It's for you. It's your guide. It's how you want to run your business. It's how you envision your business. That's one thing. That's a very foremost thing a new business owner needs is a business plan. Okay. Second, depending on what type of business you have to spend money to make money. So I don't suggest you go ahead and say, you know what, I'm tired of my job, I'm going to go ahead and quit. Don't do that just yet. You need to build up enough capital or savings from your job to start that other business or side hustle before you do anything. Third but not least, if you're going to start a business, I'm going to tell you this now, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. You have to be dedicated. You have to be committed to this life. Because I'll tell you this now, when I first started, my head was spinning because I was still working full time. Because W-Tax and business consulting came about, I forgot to tell y'all this, it was just a side gig for me as part of my full time. But in 2017, when my family members, my older sister and my mom, started getting sick, I said, you know what? They need me here. I need to be hands on. So I quit my job, and now I do this full time. Also, too, I was at a job where I was not getting paid my worth. I'm doing the same thing I was doing at my previous job, but now reaping the full benefit versus the little benefit I would get. I would probably get paid 1/8 of a job every time I did it, versus now I can see the full service amount of what I do now. So the things, like I said, for new business owners, one, have that business plan. Two, capital. If you need the capital, you have to understand, like I said, you have to spend money to make money. And three, you have to be faith. Faith plays a big part of entrepreneurship. You got to be committed. It is time consuming. You have to give up things to get what you want.
Right. And so with that being said, you touched on some things, because even for myself, I find like, hitting that bump in the road where I'm saying, well, I just don't have enough money to start a new business. And how can I get this business off the ground when I'm already kind of in the hole, just being a single mom, taking care of myself and my children? How am I supposed to start a new business and not have, like you said, in order to make money, you have to spend money. I guess it's just taking the baby steps. I'm not sure.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Okay. And I'm looking at it too. It depends on what you want to start. Prime example. Let's say you're good at typing, and you need some extra money to start that other business. Why not be a virtual assistant where you already have a laptop at the house? All you need to do is to have, word processing software, which is like Microsoft Word, or we live in a day of having OneDrive, and we have Google Drive, where you have Microsoft Word or that Microsoft document embedded into those programs for free without even having to buy it. It's all these little jobs you can start with no capital. Like some people are like, okay, I want to make T-shirts, but I don't have money to do a heat press. Well, you can start. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna tell too much because you got to come see me to get all this look.
Right.
All this
exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say.
Right. But I'm gonna say you can start a T-shirt business without having to buy a heat press. Start small. Like I said, you have to start small to think big.
Right. And I think that's where people get off. They see the bigger picture, but they don't see what it took for that next person to get there. They don't know what that person did to take where they, did to get where they are right now. As far as, like I said, with the baby steps. Because I have in the back of my head. I'm sorry, you can go ahead.
I'm sorry, like Amazon. Amazon was started in a garage, a room. The owner of Amazon was not even in office. That's what people got to realize. Start small, think big.
Right.
So even if in other ways, well, here's another tidbit. I'm not going to talk in too much in it, but for some people say, I don't have the capital to start it. Well, believe it or not, what you have around you in your home, in your domicile, is money. What are you talking about, Adrienne? What I'm talking about is them clothes that you don't wear, that's been sitting there, sell them. Wow. Those handbags, sell them. Those shoes, sell them. Guys, you are not going to wear every pair of Jordan. I know that they are your heart or whatever, but you're not going to wear every Jordan. Sell them.
Wow.
Your house is a market for capital without even having to go far.
I'm glad you touched on that. I'm sorry. I was going to say, I'm glad you touched on that because statistics show that the average consumer is the African American, of African American descent. Most of us, they said African Americans own at least 20 pair of shoes on average. They say most businessmen that are high-end businessmen may own 3 pair to 4 pair of shoes, depending on what they do. And I work in corporate America, and I pay attention. And I've had coworkers share with me only wear 1 pair of pants to work every day. They may have a different shirt on, but they wear that 1 pair of pants. But guess what? They have $1 million companies on the side that's making lucrative money. They're investing into major making major investments in stocks and bonds and purchasing land and commercial. So I'm trying to I guess it's a work in progress, because I'm even working on myself when it comes to purchasing the latest stuff and the games for the kids, and going all out for Christmas, and feeling like you got to go on that all girls trip every year or every 6 months. So I guess, like you said, that's where the sacrifice and faith comes into to play.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's also too, like, another way. You have so many apps out there now you can use to help invest. Like, for instance, if you, not just the app, banks. For instance, if you go to Wells Fargo, I think Bank of America does it. Wells Fargo is called Ways to Save. So basically, every transaction that's like an ACH, or every time you swipe your debit card, or you bill pay something, it's $1 taken out your account.
Okay.
So just think about how many bills you got off gate. Probably the max is probably like five, maybe 5 or 6 bills. That's $6 already put in savings that you didn't even know about. Then they take it off to where every time you swipe your card, look how many times you might swipe your card today. You might swipe your card 3 times a day. That's $3. And if you do that for 5 times a week during your work week, that's $15 that you done put in that's $15 a week. That's equivalent to $60 a month, not including the $6 bill pay. You already put $66 in the bank. And that's just during the week, not the weekend. So you have banks have programs like that, as well as you have stuff like Acorn Digit,
Stash. I just signed up for Stash.
Yeah. Yeah, Stash. Certain ones that we're gonna round up that penny and put into a savings account. Like me personally, I used to deal with Acorn, where they round up my money and I put an additional $20 a month. But my savings will actually go into a bond portfolio.
Okay. And what is a bond portfolio?
Well, what happened is Acorn is more of like an investing. So they'll take your money, and instead of sitting in a savings account, they'll put it in like mutual fund. It's like a stock portfolio.
Okay. Of
different things, like the government bonds, short-term bonds. And you choose what type of saver you want to be. As an investment, you are moderate investment. You're very aggressive. You're moderately aggressive. They look at that way, because the thing is that app actually tells you, are you trying to build long-term growth or short-term growth?
Okay.
Because the problem is, as business owners, and we don't come to corporate America no more, we do not have a retirement account for us.
Right.
We don't. Some of us do not start that, and Acorns is a perfect way of doing so. So, that way it shows you in 30 years, if you keep doing the amounts you're doing every month, boom, this is what you can save in this is what you have in 30 years. If you keep doing it the way you do.
And Stash does the same thing. So I guess they're similar apps. Both Acorn and Stash. Okay. I also know that tax season has arrived. Everybody's upset about the government shutdown. I know that for one, I would say thank you, Adrienne. You've been doing my taxes for how long now? In the past 3-4 years?
I don't know, girl. It's been years.
Yes.
It's been more than 1, 2, or 3 years.
Yes. So, Can you talk a little bit about the tax services you're currently offering, and if you have any specials going on, or how can you assist anyone in the North Carolina? I mean, don't need necessarily have to be in the North Carolina area for you to even provide services.
Right. Basically, I provide individual, small business, partnership, S corp, and corporation taxes. And nonprofit. So basically, any kind of tax prep I do. I do it I'm virtual. So what you can do is send me everything, and I'll send you back, and we can set up a little meeting or whatever, and I electronically file it straight from my laptop. I am an RS e-file authorized agent. Meaning they have my fingerprints on the government page. You know, government has my fingerprint, so I can't do too much. So I do multiple states. I have clients in Texas. I have clients in New York. I have clients somewhere everywhere in the United States.
Awesome.
So I do all types of taxes. But, you know, like I tell people, in this time of day now, I've seen a big boom in people having small businesses. So that's another thing. I know a lot of people come to me for small business taxes because they were like, I'm Adrienne, but I just started this business. What can I write off? What can I do? And what can't I do? So we walk through that. But, talking about the government shutdown, the thing is that your tax return will still be processed. That's what they're telling the tax professionals in our emails. They're still being processed. Now, refunds are a different story because sometimes their process, if it gets a flag, you know it's going to slow down your refund.
Right.
But what people don't realize is if you're already getting the earned income credit tax and the additional tax credit, you won't get a refund until mid-February. Because tax season really starts January 28th. It doesn't, people are like, I'm filing my taxes now. That's good, that's dandy, because I know you're going to like H&R Block or whatever. And you can do it. But it does not actually get processed until January 28th. And like I said, if you got earned income credit and that additional child tax credit, you will not start seeing your refund. That's unless if you might went to H&R Block and got a check, you won't actually start seeing your refund until mid-February.
Okay.
Like I did in the past year. But that's the only thing I think will slow down is your refund. They'll process, like I said, we can do your taxes and get it processed all day, every day. Now, when your money is coming, that's a different story.
Right. Okay.
Because no one is there to actually, hit that button and say, boom, let's send this.
Okay. So I see sometimes people say, well, I still do paper. How do you feel about electronic versus paper taxes? And I see some people say, I just do a 1040 easy. Is that's what it's called?
Well, the 1040 easy is someone that has only a W-2 and that's it.
Okay.
But people who actually, I think people file, I have some clients that still file paper.
Okay.
Because what they're doing is trying to hold that little time off so they can get their payments together, which is okay, because I tell them to, let's do this.
Right.
Don't electronically file. The only thing I don't like about paper is you can actually mail it in, and for some reason they said we never got it.
Oh, wow. So there's no tracking.
Yeah, and it's tracking because I make sure I tell my clients, if you're going to mail it in, do a receipt, a certified receipt.
Okay.
The certified receipt, because when they say, oh, you never filed, and they try to throw penalties against you, they're like, no, I filed it with the post office. They mailed it off on this day, and they will remove the penalty.
Okay.
Because they know that sometimes things get lost in the mail.
Right.
Now,
okay.
What I like about when you file it online versus paper, it's automatic. It gets it right then and there. Even if you elect to get a paper check, you will get it so much faster than you mailing it in. And plus, when you mail it in, it's one is through snail mail, which I still love the post office.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like thrown in a pile with the other tax returns that need to be done.
Okay. So that can also hold things off as well.
Yeah, I tell people I prefer you, e-file it. Then, now if you have to mail it in, that's understandable. I do not care. Go ahead. If I know you owe a large bill and like, hey, I'm going to write this check, but I'm going to have the money in by so-and-so and so-and-so, mail it in, because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to process that return until, like, probably after 2 weeks after you send it off. Maybe 3 weeks. Because when you mail in a return, they said it takes up to 6 to 8 weeks.
What would be some good advice? And I know you shared this that you're doing. I hear about nonprofits. Do you also do church taxes as well for churches?
I don't like churches. I would do them, but I don't like touching them.
You're not the first person I heard say that. That's why I asked. You're not the first person I've heard say that.
Right, because a lot of churches use different accounting systems, and it's inaccurate. And when you sometimes try to step in as a tax preparer, see, sometimes when I'm a tax preparer, I also put on my accounting hat.
Right.
Because I want to give you advice to help you out for next year and following years and in that year. The thing is, like I said, a lot of churches use different accounting software. And some of them, if you do not know how to use it, it's going to be some inaccuracies in it. And it's, red flags and questions.
Right.
But I do nonprofit tax. It's just churches. Yeah.
Right.
But I'll put the church. If they need me done, I'll do it. But, yeah, I tend to let another person touch that.
Right. I've heard that on several different occasions, and pretty much from the previous tax preparer I've heard that from, they pretty much have the same concern that you have, that they also look at it from a accountant or business perspective in regards to how money is allocated or what have you. That's interesting, but we're going to carry on. We love God. But just sometimes church, yes, but sometimes church is church. So, anywho, I just thought, as far as nonprofit wise, with me having a nonprofit as well, that's one thing that, because nonprofits, we don't make money. We're given money, but a lot of people's like, oh, I want a nonprofit. Okay, just know that that's not something that's going to. It's not very entrepreneurial where you're looking to make massive amounts of income. My nonprofit, I profit off of seeing people lives change. That's my profit. I don't even look at the financial piece of it, because if I do, then I lose sight of what the whole purpose is.
Correct, and that's what I tell people too. Most people who become entrepreneurs today, they're starting these businesses because it's a purpose and a passion in it. They're not doing it for the money. Because it's like, people are like, well, you like taxes? I said, I love taxes. And I love helping people. But yeah, that's what you do. You do it with the purpose and the passion of doing a business.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, I know that you have to get going, and I have to too, but I want you to share how people can reach out to you, how people can contact you. From my understanding, of course, I always just pick up the phone and call you, or I'll shoot you a quick text message and say, hey, here's I'm sending you my tax information via email, which I think is so convenient for busy. If you have a busy lifestyle, actually, and I have sat down with you face to face as well. So I think that that's important for our listeners who actually have the time to actually sit down and discuss your services.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to talk fast. So you all can contact me at my email, WTax Business Consulting adrienne.info@gmail.com. My website, www.wtaxbusinessconsulting.com. It's an informational page, you can fill out, and I will get that email. I get that email shot to me as well. You can text me at area code 626-656-5441. And you can also message me on Facebook and Instagram. My Facebook is WTax Business Consulting. Just start typing all that in one line, and I'm going to pop up. And for Instagram, my name is WTax Business Consulting, but it's an underscore after W, an underscore after tax, an underscore after business, and then it's consulting.
Okay.
So, and also, like Erica said, my information will be available on the page for the podcast. So you can easily access me there.
Yes, absolutely. Adrienne, I want to say thank you so much for being on Brown Girl Table Talk. I would love to have you on the show again. I do appreciate your time and your services. And I hope everybody listens and reach out to Adrienne. She's awesome when it comes to financial and accounting information. She's great with what she does. She's actually the one who assisted me in starting my nonprofit. So I definitely can speak volumes for her. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish all is well with your mom and your sister.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for we will really appreciate having you.
All right.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.